And you're listening to Muzilog Music Podcast and Muzilog Music Radio. Either one you'd like. My name is Samuel Archer, your host, and we got a special guest in the virtual building. We want to welcome Terri Green from the Terri Green Project to the show.
Thank you, Sam. How you doing? I'm great. I'm great. Thank you for having me. Thank you to Tangi at iMerge who set this up. I'm blessed to be sharing soul music. And it's going to be a treat.
Yes. We're happy to have you. And definitely on the Muzilog Music Radio side, we've been rocking your 1 hour house crunch.
I know. I was like shocked that it was the same station. I'm like, and they actually, people don't know that I had that 30-year dance career with Crystal Waters and all my girls, So when I started to delve into soul to get back to my roots, I never wanted to confuse people with techno and trance and all that. But I had toured with Guetta and all these Avicii's and things like that. But I've had that show since 2008. So well before, it's been going on a long time.
It's cool. I like it.
Thank you.
I don't know if you had a chance to tune in, but you would hear your special, different times of the day. We'd have it in there.
Oh wow! I didn't know that. I thought it was just the one scheduled time. But I wanted to stop the program, and the people were like, "No." So we picked up several UK stations that normally do soul.
Okay.
I've tried to, I have to watch my residents. I DJ as well. I don't have time. It's really been, with gigs and events.
I get it.
But I do try to do one show a quarter for me, because I'm really soulful house,
Okay.
So, but yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you anyway. And let's jump right into the new music. Two wrongs don't make it right. What in the world happened? Give us the story.
I think I might not want to tell it.
Oh, Lord.
But, no, when we began, Marvin Mack, this is a true story. I've known Marvin for 7 years. And the guy who brought me to the music business, Sir Charles Dixon, who you might know from WPGC back in the day, he ended up being a promotion manager at Sony. And I was sitting in his office and he's like, "You need to go meet Sylvia Rome." I was so nervous and scared. I kind of missed the meeting. True story. Because I was just so intimidated by that level. Years later, he's still trying to help me. And I call him and I go, "I think I need your help to get back to soul." He said, "Call Marvin Mack." I'm like, okay. Marvin took one song for me called "Sneaking Out" all the way to the top. Still the most streamed record that I've ever had. So 7 years later, after him talking to me all the time, he said, "I know what you should do." I said, "What?" "You should do a Southern Soul record, because that's going to blow up next year. You should do," he said, "your voice will fit it perfectly. You're like Stax, you got that sound." I was like, "I don't know about that." I had already been to Spring Fling with like Randy Hall, and I played one of the biggest festivals, and I was feeling like I didn't have the right music for the festival. So we did, I called him. I said, "I'll try some." Lorenzo Johnson, who had done Let It See, Stepping Bill, all kinds of stuff. Lorenzo sent me a guitar track and a kick and a bass. And in 15 minutes, I said, "What can I write about that be suitable for the sexy, grown and sexy? What do people go through? People cheat. People fall in love. People get divorced. People have kids. People feel mistreated. People feel loved. People want to dance. People want to party." So I chose something not as positive, but it was two people that were attracted to each other, but they couldn't be together. And I wrote this story kind of thinking what that would be like. And that was the two wrongs don't make it right. Like, you try to make it right, but it's still wrong. And but I just love the way it came off. And actually, I played it Saturday in DC. And within one chorus, the whole place could sing, "I know two wrongs don't make it right, but I'ma stay up with you all night." And I knew I had done something right.
It's a hot record. It's definitely a hot record. So is this more like a one man in the studio type thing? Did you have like musicians coming in? What was that creation like?
Lorenzo played every instrument himself.
Okay, so shout out to
He
him.
plays multiple instruments. His house is set up like a huge studio in LA, and he played every instrument. It was the first time I did that because I usually work with Raheem Devon's producer out in DC. Jamil Face Johnson did the Caught Up record. But this time, Lorenzo just did it all. I had to do is just send my vocals. And I had a mixer who does my country stuff, my folk stuff from dance. He mixed it and he slayed it. We were like, we didn't even know you could mix Southern Soul. And and we put it together. And actually, my engineer is the one that came up with the line, I know two wrong don't make it right. Because he's from Tennessee. He said, you need an aftercore. And I was like, yeah, okay. So Todd Wright did that, and the rest is history. Now everybody's starting to play the record. Detroit, we're picking up a lot of stations with the Urban Influencer.
I like the backstory. It's amazing to hear the backstories of how records, how records are done. So is there a music video underway?
There's a video already out on YouTube. We already almost nearly hit 8,000 streams in 7 days, so which is a lot for an independent record. Because I'm like, who watching this? That's what I was thinking. Who watching this? I never had that. I mean, I've invested money, and I haven't done anything with YouTube with that record, and people are streaming it about 1,000 a day. So I'm going to actually make sure Music Logs gets that video link today. Angie will shoot that over. But I'm shocked because I shot the video. I only had 3 hours to do makeup, shoot it, design it, cut it, and get out of the place that we recorded it in DC. And the young man, Jonathan Howard, had filmed another project with me and Tracy Hamlin out of DC. And I said, yo, can you just cut this video? I need a visual for this Southern Soul record. And I was sweat dripping. And at the last minute, with 30 minutes, I said, let me change the shirt. So everything that's in the video is what I cut the last 30 minutes, not early.
Wait, so you're saying that you shot a music video in 3 hours?
Less. And what you saw on the clip is what we did in 30, 40 minutes. Because I changed the shirt. And we decided that the gold shirt looked better than the black.
Wow.
Yeah, man, I'm a hustler.
Okay, all right.
You know that song? I'm a hustler, babe.
You're breaking records.
We try, it's independent music. You got to hustle. Your grind got to be on 100.
Yeah.
I got to deliver my radio show by Sunday night. I have to sell out events in different countries. I'm on the cruise ship, as you have seen. And I'm just working because I want to end up just singing soul music. And I have to pay the price to change genres.
Understood. But share a little bit of that with us. So you're touring presently. What's happening with you on the touring and the performance circuit? How is that going?
Right, it's great. I just left. I was in Asia with the Weather Girls. We played for a German company for a week or two, and then I came back to the Caribbean and did another job. And then now I flew to DC. We had a sold out show at the Collective Encore in Maryland. I had Robert Wawa Legrand on that gig, who he played all the OJ's guitar on Brandy, used to be my girl. Okay. He was on guitar. We had Daryl L.A. Hunt on keys, 6 years, musical director for Stephanie Mills, and currently was the pianist, keyboardist for Roberta Flack. And he just stopped because she passed away. Yes, much love to Roberta and to Angie Stone. And I had John Lampkin on drums and Rick Watts on bass. We had a great gig. It was just phenomenal. Now I'm headed to London, to Soul Mama in London. I'll be there next Saturday with the Weather Girls. And I'll be on Thursday in Newcastle at the old Hoochie Coochie with the Weather Girls. So if people are around, I don't know if you air, to a big London crowd or UK crowd, but we'll be there.
Okay, well, I do have a few folks internationally that tune in. I'm also part of the Urban Influencer family as well. So when I do abroad, with this interview, once it's broadcasted and everything, a lot of folks check it out. And shout out to the UK audience because when I put my record out 2 years ago, a lot of love came from the UK
Yeah,
project. So they somehow would tune in and know that you'll be coming to a city near where they are out there.
yeah.
So what is
And
it
we
like being here? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
no, we've already sold out the German show that's at the end of April. So a lot of times you have to really work to build an audience. My goal is you never lose a fan. You never lose somebody who invested in you. So if I'm playing in a location, I'm going to return until I have it in lock that people
Okay.
know what I'm doing. I'll bring always other artists to have a diversity on stage. I don't have an ego where I think I'm the most fabulous thing that needs to play all night long, just hear my voice, listen to me. I always share the stage young talent. Dr.
Okay.
Gilbert Pryor, who played for Gladys Knight and Barry White, he was at my last show in the audience. I took two of his students and brought them as backings on the gig. He flipped out. That's someone you really should have on, Dr. Pryor. He has double
Okay.
platinum for playing with some go-go stuff that went global. So
Okay.
yeah, I just feel like you have to really be diverse. And
Yes.
as much as people are against diversity right now, I'm still living by the principle that change and difference is absolutely fine.
Amen. Amen. And feel free to make the connection if you want to do it through Tangy.
For sure. Yeah, definitely got to get the Weather Girls on here. That's going to be great.
Yeah.
I'm just, everybody matters in independent. You have to really make sure you take care of the DJs who take care of you. And that's been that's the work that's a part of the respect of the business.
Okay. Okay. So we almost interviewed out because I was certain things that I was going to ask you. We spoke about it already. We spoke about it.
Yeah.
Already. Now, would this single be part of like a collective, or this is just a single to test the market? What is the intention here?
So I have an album pretty much ready. The songs were not leaning as Southern Soul, but with the success, this record is actually catching really on in the US, UK as well. But the US has seemed really, really interested in this, Terri, aka Mavis Staples, aka, Betty Wright stuff that I get to be who I really am. So I'm assuming that we will kind of package it together at first an EP, hopefully before September. 4 records I really want to get out. And another Southern Soul record will come within the next 2 months or less.
Okay, great, great. So I do like to humanize my guests a little bit when they come. So I'll, throw these questions at you and see how they fly. So the first one I normally ask is, what is your favorite color?
Well, green. It really is green.
Okay.
I love green. I really do love green.
I like that. I like that. Okay, so we're going to go with green. We're going to go to green. And when Terri Green wants to throw down in the kitchen, what is that dish?
I like to eat fried chicken, but I don't know if I'm the best one. I think the Weather Girls she cooks that better than I do. But I'm really good with, I make a chicken and cheese and rice dish. I love veggies mixed with a little bit of meat, and just always, I can experiment with what is going to go inside a curry, whether I'm going to do it more mushroomy, or I like to experiment with the different flavors, Indian, Thai. I like to mix it up.
Okay. All right. Okay, I like that. The chicken, cheese, and rice. Now, does that go with a wine? Is there like a wine that goes with that, or?
Every European likes red wine and white wine. So, but they seem to be leaning more red wine. I don't drink alcohol, so it's a problem.
Oh, okay. So you'll work with some juice.
So I'm crazy like this on a Friday night at 2 a.m. I'm just like this. So I don't need a drip of alcohol. I used to be in Russia in these big clubs, and they'd be like, "Terri, drink," and I was like, I don't need a drink. I'm good. Like, I can party till 6 a.m. and I don't need a drip of alcohol or drugs. So I just think that keeps you healthier longer. And I think I look way different and feel way different had I really took all the things I've been offered, you know.
Okay, okay, understood, understood. So the other question would be, who is Terri Green listening to in the last couple of days?
Oh, that's good. So Angie Stone, of course. I've
Okay.
been listening to Angie. I've been listening to Roberta Flack, just
Okay.
reminiscence, my father's favorite artist. I've been listening to, I love Money Long and I love Tim's. I love Tim's. I love Tyler.
Mm-hmm.
And I really love my 90s R&B. Like, I'm sorry to say it, but I was listening to the new R. Kelly that he just put out.
Nothing wrong with that.
I just, I separate the crazy from the musician. Somebody can be extremely talented and be completely bananas privately. I was listening to John B. I was listening to Stephanie Mills, and actually, there's one group, the Cornelius Brothers, was in something that's been spinning around. This It's too late to turn back now. I just was into listening to that. Some Stephanie Mills. Peebo Bryson is always getting played. I love it. OJ's. I listened to the OJ's, this song about the slave trade. They have a really famous song that I wanted to hear lately for some reason. Just felt like I wanted to hear really things. Let's Do It Again. Staple Singers I was listening to. I'm very, very diverse in a lot, and I still listen to Armand Van Helden. You don't know me with, my friend Dwayne Harden. I listen to house music. Mark Knight, love Mark Knight. So just a mix, and I listen to some Culture Club.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, so are you saying Culture Club from the 80s as well, or?
Boy George.
Yes. Chameleon and
Chameleon. I think I learned to sing listening to some of Boy George's stuff because my voice was too low for all those girl records like Stephanie Mills. So I listened to There's a Voice in Your Heart always. Yeah.
That's right. And those are really great records too. Those are really
Rick Astley. I was a huge UK, 80s pop song person. Yeah.
Well, amen. Well, you mentioned everybody. But I'm happy. You took a moment to recognize and admonish Roberta and Angie. Because they're like gems.
Yeah,
hit us, and then we also lost one of the 2020 members.
Yeah, and we lost Roy Ayers this week. Roy Ayers.
The
thing about Angie, why that struck me so hard, is still when you say it, it takes me somewhere else. I met Angie. Her guitarist, one of her guitarists, was inviting me to her gig in DC. We met afterwards. She's tiny. She was short compared to me. I'm like 5'9.5". And she was cool, and I sat real close, like right in her face. And her life, even though she was in the U.S. and doing it her way, I've been in 13 airports in 2 weeks. I've been in cars driven by people on little curves. And I thought, we don't think about how this can end at any minute.
Yeah. That's
and
right.
How life is. I say it every time in German. I speak in German audience, French, Spanish. I always tell them, please understand how sorry, I got disconnected for a second.
Yeah, take a second. Are you back?
Yes, I'm back. So
what
I was just so.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, just to go back, I actually touched the screen. Sorry, everybody. And then I realized I was getting myself disconnected. Angie Stone was personal because of how I lived my life. I was once in Moscow driving to a town called Yaroslav, and a man drove like 120 miles an hour, and he took oncoming traffic to change lanes. And I remember just going down in the seat like, I'm just going to close my eyes. And he barely missed it, a car. And I'm thinking, this is like what you do, and you don't think that it's going to end. So
Yeah.
Angie being on her way to Baltimore, where I was at the time, it was just so painful to
Yeah.
lose her. Yeah.
Yeah. For all of us, I'm a fan. I'm also an instructor, so sometimes in class we would look at album covers,
Yeah.
and we did one where we created one for her, like back in December.
Wow.
So it was like just so surreal, like, oh my God, just I'm talking about her here as I'm introducing her to the students as a soul vocalist, and give them a little background on her, and then next thing we're talking about her passing, so that was a touching thing. So but I'm happy we took a moment. One thing I want to just mention real quick, shout out to Tangi, because I did. This is one of the first interviews I'm doing since I had a medical situation last year.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
Yeah, it was a gallbladder thing. They had to. My gallbladder was misbehaving, so they had to take him out. And so I hadn't done any podcasting since last year, July. So I'm happy that she was able to ring the bell and say, "Hey Sam, I got Terry coming to the U.S." and rocked with Alvin earlier today. So in a way, it's sort of like life.
You're
like,
coming back. I'm coming out.
Yeah, so it's like
Wonderful.
Getting back into it. So shout out to Tanji just for just pushing the envelope a little bit to get me back behind the mic and meeting amazing people like yourself.
Yeah, and I think it's great.
Go ahead.
I think it's great that you do it live, because people don't know who people really are just on the record.
Yes. Yes. So I want to thank you for being here. Now, is there anything that you wanted me to talk about, or that you wanted to touch on that we didn't address in the interview? You can do that at this time.
Well, I just want to say, since you're down in Florida, Florida has a chance to make a change because of the current situation politically. Florida has 2 seats that could actually change the balance of power in our government. So if people are down there, don't sit out voting. Voting really matters. Incarcerations are decided by state attorneys, and they're decided by chiefs of police, which are voted positions. People, be active, be political. Political is your life. It's your Medicaid, it's your Medicare. And as someone who strongly feels that people have to be involved in their own life, don't give it to someone else. Take the time to vote, even in midterms, special elections. That's where your life is decided, not only presidential elections. In Florida, we are depending on you to take us a little bit out of this crazy world that we're living in right now, because it's just going bananas. I've had 5 friends lose jobs. 5 friends lose jobs. My son's friends have lost jobs where they were excellent at their jobs. No need to be fired. So this is all just indiscriminate. And I hope people understand music is power. And I want to see more musicians also connect their music to their feelings about the current environment. I plan to do that in the next record, and at least some records, like we did with Stax, to be not political violence, but just saying, let's care about each other, let's be active, let's be a part of things. And that's just something I wanted to share.
Okay, well, that's amazing. Thanks for sharing that, and you're on point with that. And well, you actually told us where you're going to be next week. So
yeah, I'll be in London. So it's Soul Mama London, brand new club. Thanks to Simon Soul Gigs, I'll be there playing. Beautiful venue, great sound, great food, and people can come in. We got about 30 tickets left, so if anybody wants to come, please do. And I'm looking forward to seeing everybody there.
And thank you once again. It was an honor to have you on here. And
my honor.
Yes. Oh, well, yes. You're welcome.
I'm so glad you're healthy, that you're still here, doing everything that you dream of, and appreciate you on both ends with the House Crunch as Terry B, and also supporting my soul music. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome.